Hi, my name is Paige Clements, and I'm here to answer some questions you may have about Shakespeare.
Hi, Paige. I have a question for you. What happens in a typical Shakespeare course?
I teach beginning Shakespeare and advanced Shakespeare here at T. Schreiber. And in the beginning course, I try to get everyone on the same page at the beginning with regard to how to handle iambic pentameter. So we discuss how to do it, how to scan the meter and then make it subliminal so it's not hitting everybody in the face, so it's a very organic thing. And basically we cover sonnets, monologues, and scene work, but it is very, very bare bones beginning, so we can keep it on the ground and not just treat the class as a philosophical or analytical way of looking at it. It's how do we approach it? How do we learn how to do it so it's accessible?
Would the class be useful for an actor who primarily does contemporary work?
It really is very helpful because more and more today, when we're dealing with Shakespeare's writing and other authors of his ilk, you're dealing with the depth of language. Sometimes it's really dense. And I find that the more students work on it, when they put it away, they go to their 21st century or 20th century contemporary work, they feel everything's lifted up a little bit. And so it tends to just strengthen their awareness of language, no matter who the author or what the relationships are, because Shakespeare's timeless. And so the themes can be applied to today. So I think it really opens their eyes.
And what happens in the more advanced Shakespeare class?
We cover, most of the time it's just monologues. Sometimes we'll do scenes, but also I have introduced a new thing where we'll do one play as a group. So everyone will work on a monologue, but then also scenes within one play together. So it's much more intense. We don't talk about meter as much unless there's a problem with it, but we go right into the depth of how to handle it, how to make it real, how to relate to it, how to listen, how to, again, get out of the idea of it being just a literary viewpoint, but more of a person connecting standpoint.
Yeah. A lot of actors are nervous about working on Shakespeare, or intimidated. How do you deal with that?
It's in the introduction. First of all, we're all a little, I think, scared of what we don't know. So they have these ideas that Shakespeare is up on a pedestal, and if you can do Shakespeare, you can do anything. And it's not like that. It's actually very, very real. I believe fully that Shakespeare wrote for the common man to speak his words. That may make a lot of literary scholars uncomfortable, but it is to introduce the idea of the human condition in any century, any decade, and their situation. And so once they realize that it's not being taught as a lofty idea, that it's still real people, they're going, oh, all right, now I know how to do it. And I think it's worth mentioning that the class may have that feel at the beginning, but at the end of it, whether it's 6 weeks or 8 weeks, they now really know, oh, now I know how to actually keep going. It's not that you learn everything in that short amount of time, but you feel like you can connect to it and use it.
Great. Thank you very much, Paige.
You're so welcome.